I recently concluded my What Devil Fruits Should Be Added series with a Mythical Fruits video, and I might make a few more videos on that, but for now I thought it would be a good idea to switch it up and maybe talk about some fighting styles today. So I think fighting styles are underrated and many people overlook them and focus too much on Devil Fruits. The problem with having a large focus on Devil Fruits is that it leads to combat being less grounded, and if you put too much focus on large Devil Fruit AoE, you end up with just a combat system like Blox Fruits. And this is not a bad thing, it's just different. And in Blox Fruits, you just Geppo and spam large AoE moves, and occasionally you can combo, but it's mainly that kind of Geppoing around, staying in the air, trying to dodge moves. I have to admit, Grand Peace Online has done quite well with their fighting styles. Despite its flaws, I personally like one sword style, and Blackleg's combo potential is awesome too. The recent addition of Diable Jambe was also really nice to see. Anyway, enough intro talk, let's get right into the video with the first suggestion. Okay, so my first suggestion on this list is definitely one of the most requested fighting styles of GPO. The fighting style in question is Zoro's Santoryu, also known as 3 sword style. So this fighting style is pretty self-explanatory, since it just involves Zoro using 3 swords at once. However, the techniques this fighting style has are, all things considered, really impressive. It would be awesome to see classic techniques like Zoro's Onigiri and Tatsumaki added to a One Piece game like GPO. I know that the GPO dev team recently got a new dev called Danube, who is working on 2 sword style at the moment, so it would be really cool to see what he could make for 3 sword style, since from what I've seen from his work, it is really impressive and well made. I think 2 sword style and 3 sword style could be what the community needs to push katanas and sword style to new heights. I assume you'd need 3 regular katanas to use 3 sword style, so it would be interesting to see how they would do this in the game. If the current katanas were compatible, it would give an incentive for players to go back and look for old katanas like Sky Blue Katana or Ryu's Blade. I assume though that when we get 3 sword style, they'll probably add a bunch of new swords. For example, Zoro's swords, and sword-based mechanics. Perhaps we could even see a randomized in-game sword shop, similar to how Blox Fruits does their Devil Fruit seller, where you go to him and he would sell you a random sword. Perhaps it could be swords from the anime, like really important ones. And this mechanic would be made even more cool in the upcoming item trading update, since you could trade swords and try and get your favorite ones from One Piece. The next fighting style that I want to mention is Ryusoken. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but if not, it's also called Dragon Claw in English, so let's go with that. This fighting style was used by Sabo in One Piece, and even though we haven't seen much of the abilities, it definitely looks awesome. We can also see from this that Dragon Claw can be used in combination with Mera to create some pretty powerful attacks. This is a feature that I would like to see added to GPO when this fighting style finally gets added to the game. Outside of big flashy abilities, I'm sure the Dragon Claw M1 animations would be amazing. It would also be cool to see fighting styles that could be buffed by Devil Fruits, because usually we only really have weapons that do this, like Enel's Staff or Gravity's Blade, and they receive certain buffs or extra moves, but we've yet to see a fighting style that really gets a buff or has an extra move that can be used if you have a specific fruit. This would also be an awesome feature, and I'm definitely looking forward to this. The next fighting style that I want to talk about is Soolong Combat. So Soolong form is a form that Minks can enter through looking at the full moon. So aside from giving Minks an overall buff in terms of health and strength, the form looks really cool. And I know some people are thinking, but Soolong form isn't a fighting style, it's just a transformation form for Minks. And yes, you are completely right, that is true. But it would be interesting to see if it worked like Diable Jambe and Blackleg, in the sense that once Minks entered Soolong form, they would have a new moveset that would more accurately reflect the powers of this form. I feel like if you just gave Soolong Minks the same moves, it would look kind of underwhelming, because there's this giant, Soolong form, and it's doing the same, I mean, maybe you could keep Raijin Punishment, but some of the other moves, like just like the Lightning Dash, or I would like to see them more, perhaps even made bigger or make the effects larger. And yeah, there aren't many official abilities that are linked to Soolong form, so this would be like Feyu's like he has free reign over this. He could add whatever he wants, and I'd be cool with it as long as it looks cool. And the fourth fighting style that I'm talking about is Ryusoken. I hope I said that right, but if I didn't, feel free to correct me. But this is a fighting style that's used by the Chinjiao family during the Dressrosa arc. And honestly, out of all the fighting styles displayed during that arc, this is probably one of the most memorable. So the fighting style involves using shockwaves to damage opponents. And I could see this translating to a lot of block breaks in GPO. So this fighting style is one of the few that actually uses every single limb to attack, even using the head to attack in some instances. But then again, with a head like this, who wouldn't want to headbutt an opponent? Like, look at it, it's basically a sword. But unfortunately, Chinjiao does lose this comically pointed head by the time we see his character in Dressrosa. Honestly, this fighting style is one that I rarely see added to any One Piece game, and it would be cool to see how Feyu could add it to the game and how it would work, and the different mechanics that could be incorporated into GPO. Talking about fighting styles introduced in Dressrosa, it would be interesting to see if we got a big update where Feyu adds the Grand Puissant equivalent of Dressrosa and a bunch of fighting styles. Leave a comment down below on what fighting style you'd like to see added from the Dressrosa arc. Now, that's all I really wanted to talk about today, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I also read all your comments, every single one, even the mean ones. So if you wanted to suggest a topic that you'd like to see me discuss, feel free to. And if I like your idea, I may even make a video on it. And also, I'd like to announce that we recently hit 7,000 subscribers. This is amazing. We're very close to 10k, and I really want to hit that goal. So I didn't think I'd ever hit as much, and I'm really forward to seeing where this channel will go. Okay, now I'm going to end the video here for real, but I hope you're having a great day, evening, or whatever time it is where you're at, and I'll see you next video. Bye.